Hey Collective, and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be kind of brief. It's something unexpected. I was actually working on my resume because at the rate that this whole P word's going around and around and around. By the way, someone really needs to get the P word a new travel agent because it's just getting to India. What did it do? Stop for a break? Did it get a bikini wax somewhere in Brazil? I'm confused how it just got to India, but okay, fine, bygones. We're going to play along with the storyline. The point is that I was putting together my resume and I was trying to figure out which companies are not mandating the V word, the thing. And it's really kind of complicated because I do want children. I actually do like them. And so I turn on as a break, like a form of break, I turn on Sexy Beast over at the LeoKing. Those eyes, oh you ladies, lucky girls, with his green eyes. Anyway, so he was talking and he brought up something that I hadn't been paying attention to. Because, all of the divine beings of light have been talking and warning everybody in the collective about, be cautious of this thing, that's not adding up, blah, blah, blah. But he made a very good point that I hadn't even thought of, which was he had mentioned the fact that women were starting to have ovulation issues? They were having issues with their period. And I was like, well, hello, that kind of fits into what I was saying about the whole thing about the children of men. In any event, it made me start wondering exactly how much further we're going to go down this rabbit hole, because he was really eloquent with it, He really has a way of getting his point across in a way that is very, very friendly to people, right? And so it's very interesting to watch him. But what I was talking, and good luck at the races, buddy. What I was thinking about in the moment was, he had also mentioned what I had been concerned of, I should say, which was, my concern was that at some point I might end up at a concentration camp of some kind or something, or an internment camp, whatever you want to call it, the politically correct term, because I don't want to get the shot, because I do want to have kids. And since I don't have the information, I don't want to put it into my body. And so, as I was working through my own kind of, not concern, but more like my own vibrational pull, and I was trying to pull my vibration up and not giving up and all that stuff, I was really, really entranced by the conversation he was having over there with the recent astrology video, because of the fact that he was echoing something that all truth-sayers are talking about right now, which is we don't have the information yet, and we don't have it out. And though people think that we're an enemy of the people because we are saying the truth of things, that we actually are representing the people in what we're saying. And so, in a way, it's almost like camaraderie. But the main point was, if you are starting to have ovulation issues, or you're starting to have issues with the period, and you're finding yourself in something new that is not natural to your body, then how much more indication would you need? And so I was very entranced by what Palmer was saying. And I just wanted to get out here and say that because one of the things that I'm finding for myself is the truth of my particular journey is that I do know that I want children, and I do know that I plan on getting married to a dude and down the road, and he knows who he is. But until that all starts going, my concern is I don't want to ever have to put something into my body that I know is not going to be good for me. And if it has any type of reproductive issues down the road, which this kind of sounds like it might be indicative of, then why would I do it? And then more importantly, how do I find a job and in because I got to get a day job, y'all. Like, I got to go work at a Dairy Queen or something like that, because it's just like, I know that where we're going, money is not going to be really helpful because we can't pay for our way out of this. But I still want to have, a couple of pretty things. I'm a Taurus midheaven, so y'all know how we are. I'm a Cancer moon, Leo rising, Taurus midheaven. Hello. But I got to do something in between because I'm finding myself a little bored sometimes with like trying to make sure that I meet ends meet and so forth. But what I was concerned about was I'm running into this thing, like I'm sure a lot of you in the collective are, about where do we go get employed? There's nobody really saying it because you get vilified. And like for me personally, it doesn't bother me if people vilify me. It's not even a thing. But I was kind of wondering, like, what do we as spiritual leaders or as leaders of any kind, how do we help those businesses that are not going to mandate this thing into their employees' bodies, and how do we get them to start promoting it so that I know where to put my application in? Because I don't want to go somewhere and like be told basically there I have to do the shots, or I won't be able to get paid to eat food. Like, it's getting down that really weird, dangerous part. And so instead of letting my vibration down, I thought I'd get on here and ask what you guys are thinking about on the subject. Because I know it just can't be me and David talking about it. There's got to be other people out there who are seeing the red flags everywhere. And I'm starting to wonder if there's a way for us to pull together a resource system that lets other people know who are not We're not, by the way, we're not against it. It's just that we don't have enough data. So until we have the data, nobody's going to, like, we're not going to go out there and be like, bimbos and gods etch a sketch and be like, yeah, fuck me over. Like, we're not going to do that. But what we are saying is that we need more data. Until we get that, what are the other industries that are doing that are promoting the fact that they are not mandating it for their employees? And how do I apply to that job for now? It's a really logical question that a lot of people aren't asking, and it was very interesting that it came through David, because y'all know David's adorable, but it was the fact that he was so genuine in his concern, and that's what we need as leaders. We need leadership that speaks the truth, doesn't care what happens for popularity, but that awakens people to just ask the questions, because it's just not adding up. How the hell is this just getting to India? They didn't board a plane? Are we repeating the same cycle? Are we stuck in stupid? Like, I'm not getting something here. I'm totally confused by what's going on. But more importantly, I'm actually seeing the truth. So I shouldn't say I'm confused. I'm confused by the silliness behind how asleep we're willing to be, and taking the rights away of other people, and how we don't see that as slavery. And then I don't see how we, as free agents who are smart enough to realize, okay, until we get the data, we're not going to jeopardize our children or our ability to reproduce. So where do we go get gainful employment? I mean, it's something that we all need to think about, at least for now, until the stimulation of this thing changes. So I was wondering what you all out there in the collective were thinking. Give me some feedback, because I really do want to get like a little day job until I get my show and stuff on the air, because it's not like we can buy our way out of it, but it would be nice to have a little bit of income coming in so that I have that saved up for when, the shit really hits the fan. Because let me just tell y'all, from what I get from Ethos, this is about to pop off. I don't know what's happening this weekend, but something's going on, aside from the race. But something is going on, and I don't know exactly what it is. And I'm one of those people that I'm kind of not really wanting to ask this question right now, because of the fact of what I see coming down the road in long term. And so I just know that it's going to be like jumping off. Like, it's going to be basically like, it's going to be like a nutsack size, like a really elephantitis nutsack. It's going to be you're going to have a lot of shit to deal with, and you're going to have your hands full, and it's going to be rather sticky, if you know what I mean. So it's one of those things that as we prepare for the long-term effects of all this stuff, I just wanted to get on here and kind of throw like a little aside and be very supportive to the Palmer, but also to the fact that we do need to start really asking these questions and start working together as a team here in order to start really helping people out like us who are seeing the truth and are at least awake enough to question and then follow the rabbit hole. But once we do that, what are the businesses we're supposed to go work at? Where are we supposed to go? Are we should we start planning for concentration camps? Like what is the realistic ramifications of us going against the grain in this particular scenario? And I just wanted to start the ball rolling here and just say, hey, I can't be the only one. And then more to the point, if you happen to be a business that is not mandating for your employees that you have to get this thing, please let me know if you're in California. Actually, I'm willing to relocate, because at this point, I don't know what's going on in California, but I want us to really start thinking about the long-term effects to these things. I get that we think that it's going to be a short solution, but the long-term effects are such a gamble, and we're already, apparently, per what Palmer was saying, already seeing ramifications with women's periods and stuff like that, and that's not natural, right? And so what are we missing here that we're not seeing that huge red flag in front of us? Anyway, so that's what I wanted to get on here and say, guys. That's it for me tonight. I'm going to go back to my resume, and then I'm going to go back to this weekend. I don't know what I'm going to do this weekend, but it should be kind of fun. I don't know. I take a lot of walks. Enjoy every day. Anyway, that's it for me, guys. Bye.